Hey, welcome to Texans Unfiltered. I am your host, Young Ari Gold, as usual. And luckily for me, I'm joined by the newest editions. I guess we're going to have to get rid of the newest editions thing at some point because we can't say that every time we talk about you guys or you guys come on. So you guys are now the veterans. I am with Dylan, Texans Draft, and Jordan, Texans Thoughts. We are going to be doing a series and going over a prospect in college, what we like, what we don't like, give you guys some thoughts on what we see on film, how we look at a prospect, what we break down, really what the intrigue and interest is, what they don't do well in our opinion, and things of that nature. So we're going to do this once a week. We're going to eventually, kind of Dylan's working on a draft profiles for each individual, or like for each a different prospect every week. We're putting that on the website to give you guys basically come February, March, an idea of who to look for. It's going to be specific to the Texans, so it'll be unique. And this is kind of like a start for what we're doing and what we wanted to do. We really wanted to kind of give you guys an idea of how we look at things and what we watch for when breaking down a prospect. And this one's going to be really fun because I am not a running back prospect. I don't look into running backs a lot. So I had to do some sharpening of the tools. But Jordan, Dylan, how are you guys feeling this morning?
I'm really excited for this. I think it'll be a great chance for us to show the fans kind of how we look at film and get people excited about the college season because it may be early, it might not be started yet, but we're going to build up all these prospects, have them ready for when it is draft season. We'll be ready. And it's early, and I know the Texans, their highest pick is only a third rounder, but I think by the time we get there, we're going to have higher picks, and we're going to kind of break down kind of these big name guys at first, but we'll get to more Texans related guys later as the year goes on.
Yeah,
Dylan,
I'm also super excited. This is gonna be an exciting series for sure. And yeah, like Jordan said, it's really hard to predict where these guys are gonna go in almost late April next year. But a lot of the big name guys will be fun to break down.
yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll learn from each other. I think that's really one of the biggest things that we took away from this when we originally started this was kind of understanding what we each look at and what we look for, and then tying that all together at the end. So I'm super excited to just kind of go through this. And Dylan, why don't you introduce who we'll be going over today and what and school and position and all that.
Yeah, we're gonna be going over Travis Etienne. Um, Hold on, let me pull up. He's the running back from Clemson.
Yeah, I can get the screen going.
Um, and he had a monster year last year. Give me 1 minute.
Here, I have it if you want me to pull it up.
Okay, I thought I had it up. I don't.
Which game do you want to start with?
Oh, I was gonna pull up the outline
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and
I have it. So yeah, so he would have came out last year. Would have been probably running back one for a lot of people in the 2020 draft. He didn't declare because he was determined to kind of go out on a winning note with Trevor Lawrence. Wanted to kind of run it back, see what else they could do. In 2019, he had 207 carries, 1,614 yards. He averaged 7 yards per carry and 19 TDs. That's all on the ground. And then he added 37 receptions, 432 yards, 11.7 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. Total attempts 244, over 2,000 yards from scrimmage, 8.4 yards per attempt, and 23 touchdowns, which from a production standpoint is just absolutely freaking nuts. Especially when you consider Clemson's offense and what they do through the air as well. It's very interesting.
he had even more touchdowns in his sophomore season, which is even insane. He upped the yardage production this season, but he had like 26 total touchdowns in his sophomore year. He's nuts.
Insane. So let's get into the game film. We're going to go through 3 or 4 games as time permits. Obviously, we'd like to keep this in between 45 minutes to an hour. But yeah, Jordan, why don't you hop in and kind of start the game film?
Yep. All right, so you guys can see my screen.
Yes.
Which game did you want to go over, Dylan, first?
First one I'm gonna go over is Florida State, or no, Georgia Tech. Sorry.
Georgia Tech. All right. This nifty little tool here, all our YouTube breakdowns. Okay. this ever wants to load. Okay, perfect. The pistol here, just play it. First game of the season.
So real quick, maybe before we actually start a film, what do you guys look for in a running back?
Okay, so for me, it's all about vision
Yep.
and how you set up and manipulate your blocks, because it's all tied. Like running backs and O-line, they're really tied together more than people think, and you have to be able to see like what your O-line is opening up for you, but also how you can manipulate your blocks to for them to block the defenders, basically. So there's that, and then there's the athletic standpoint. Can you make like just the basic cuts, like making the first man miss is a big thing for me, and picking up extra yardage. But I'll let Dylan go for the rest of it.
Yeah, just like I said, just like Jordan said, like I look for him to manipulate blocks, but I also look for him to be able to make the necessary cuts to get through the holes that his O line is creating for him. And I also value downfield speed a lot, because I like my running back to make a lot of big plays, like at least get a first down every once in a while from scrimmage, from 1st and 10, and downfield speed to take the pressure off the quarterback for a bit. And downfield speed is something that I value pretty highly in a running back.
So when I look at a running back, I look at vision. I think vision is really one of the biggest aspects. All the other stuff really doesn't matter if you don't see where the holes are. You could be the fastest guy on the field. You could be the strongest guy on the field. You can have cuts and things of that nature. But if you're not able to see the holes that you're supposed to run through, really none of that matters. So I always put kind of vision first. After that, I look at quickness. And when I think of quickness, I don't think of necessarily like their 40 time, but more of like their shuttle and things of that nature. How they're able to cut and stop on a dime, things like that, because you're going to need to be able to do that as a running back. As you think a hole is there, specifically in like a zone scheme, and then you see that hole is closing up, you got to be able to bounce it back to another hole that you thought potentially could be there. I like to look at ball security, because I think that's a big piece of a running back. If you're not looking at if you're not able to hold on to the football, and you don't have a good technique in ensuring that you won't drop that, I think that's another thing. I really like strength, especially when it comes to these bigger running backs, like the Derrick Henrys of the world. I'm a power back guy. I'm not really more of an elusive guy. I like a guy that can just charge through and get you 4 to 5 yards no matter what the offensive line is doing. And then durability is a big thing in my opinion, because you can't stay healthy, you can't take a hit in college, then the likelihood of you being able to do that in the NFL is going to be very slim.
For sure.
All right, Jordan, take us through this play.
Perfect. Okay, first game of the year in pistol here. Let's see what happens. Just that outside handoff. Okay, so there's tons of penetration here to the left side. Looks like this guy might come unblocked. This little defender. What happens? Okay, no, not him, but the linebacker here has a complete open path. Like, I don't know what this. Yeah, so at this point, like, Etienne's kind of screwed. Like,
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
He makes the first guy miss, and then there's another one too. This corner comes down, and at this point, like, you can't really expect him to keep on making all these guys.
Yeah, that's just a bad blocking scheme.
At this point, especially with this play specifically, what the running back is looking to do is just get back to the line of scrimmage or minimize the amount of yards lost. He does a pretty good job of this, to be honest with you. Like, basically sheds one guy, hits a spin, is able to kind of go forward a little bit, maybe a half a yard. But I mean, yeah, this is just great defense by Georgia Tech.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
But you can see, even on these negative plays, you can still see like the potential of Etienne.
Yeah, he still makes those first two guys miss.
Exactly. And not only that, like when you look at that spin move, like it's so natural. It's not like a force, right? Like you can just see that that's a part of his arsenal. Like he's able to spin at any given time. Lowers his shoulder knowing that he's about to get hit. You're going to have negative plays. It's just about, how do you react during those negative plays and what do you do? It's all about the scheme and position that the running back is in. They can't do it all on their own.
For sure. All right, so yeah, he only ended up losing 1 yard there, where he could have lost like 3 or 4, honestly. So that's pretty good to get back to the line of scrimmage. Next play, shotgun here, which the Texans run a bunch. And it looks like pass protection, he doesn't get anyone, so keep on moving on. Motion to the other side. Goes out in the flat, nothing to him.
Oh, patient. I like it.
Ooh. Couldn't get
Yeah,
that.
man, just a solid tackle, right? But if you look at
Yeah.
what he's doing, like he's patient. He's running behind his lead blocker. But that guy's just
Yeah, bad block.
You can see him, like you said, he's patient he slows down here to make sure it was at 25 he can make that block, and maybe he could have stopped and cut inside. There's a little bit of an alley right here instead of taking it outside, but he tried to be able to manipulate the block. That's what I kind of talk about, is slowing down your speed and trying to allow your guy to come out here and make the block, but he just misses it, and then I don't think he was expecting him to miss it. That's why he didn't really put a move on this defender.
Yeah, I mean, the fullback definitely, he didn't it looks like he doesn't even fully engage in the block. It was almost like it was half-assed, right? It's just kind of like push. If he would have lowered his pad level, maybe shifted to the right a little bit, took it on, he probably would have had at least a couple yards, maybe made the other guy miss at the second level. But when you see the patience, for me, that's really what you want to see. He just needs a better fullback.
Yep,
Yeah,
for sure.
That was an awful block.
Alright, just quick pass pro. There's not a lot to see here, but I don't like how he kind of just lunges at this dude and just drops his shoulder like that. I don't know. I think you're supposed to stay square as a pass protector, but it's a bit nitpicky there. It's a bit better, but not a whole lot to see.
I mean, when it comes, if you're drafting a running back for pass protection, you're probably in a bad situation.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the last thing you kind of. It's good to have. It's it's a benefit, but it's not something you should be looking for.
It's something you can teach too.
Nice little fake.
He sold the fake really well.
Yeah, I thought Etienne had the ball.
Yeah, I think that's something that Deshaun can honestly do better on read options and also play action.
Really?
I think he leaves it too quickly. Read options he's better, but play actions I feel like I can always just tell when it's gonna happen. And maybe that's just on a play call sense, not on him, but I feel like I can always just tell.
It's funny when you go back and you start 2017 and watch 2018, you'll see that his play action, he was probably the best quarterback in the league.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make a note of that for sure. Alright, let's see this. I like this a lot. I like his ability to stay patient and stay slow here, kind of reading his two pullers right here. His guards pull, I think. That's the guards. And he's just reading it. Good, 6-yard gain up the gut.
Yeah. And it looks like there's nothing there, and he just weaves his way into good 6 yards.
Yeah, and Etienne's reputation is that he's the speed back. He runs a ridiculous 4.3 or 4.2 40. And but he can run between the tackles too. That's what a lot of people don't understand about him, is he can get these tough yards too. Just following his blocks real nice here.
Yeah, you can really see his patience there. He sidesteps into a hole and hits it, and there's really nothing there, and he makes 6-yard gain. So I like this run a lot.
When he follows the lead blocker who pulled, which is nice. He sees the vision, understands the scheme of where he's supposed to go. More of a power scheme than anything else as he's following his lead blocker. Able to gain 6 yards, lowers his shoulder. He's not the biggest guy in the world, so you don't really want him being your power back. You want him in space, but still a good play.
Yeah, I think what you said about following the scheme is a really good thing, because if you can see, it's kind of hard to see my mouse, but if you can see, there's this huge open lane to the outside, and some running backs who might not be more disciplined could try and take this outside, and then either maybe this defender right here or this could get outside and stop them, but he just follows the offense, follows his blocker, and gets the easy gain.
Yep.
All right.
Solid run, 6-yard run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got the first down.
There's good blocking here, good push by the left side of the offensive line, and he runs through those kind of arm tackles and falls forward.
That guard, by the way, just watching that guard. I mean, able to just maul that guy. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get his left hand, but still able to.
Is that John Simpson, I think?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he's left. Okay.
He got drafted this past year.
The Raiders, they got an O-line for sure.
Yeah.
Looks a little lost on pass protection, but
he is
just so far up right here. He's not going to be able to make it back to this defender. Because of the play action fake, it took him so far up in the pocket. There's no one to block there, and there's no way he can get all the way back to that defender.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Lawrence is the quarterback because
Yeah. I think he. Oh, okay, that's what that play
I was about to say if you made that throw.
was. Yeah. They ran a lot of a pistol. Interesting.
this is a
Yeah,
nice run.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a nice run.
Right, so
Downfield
yeah.
speed is just insane.
That bounce to the right.
Boom.
And then boom. And look,
Another one.
he just takes two guys out of the play just with that acceleration.
Did he fumble at the
Let
end?
me go back. Oh, sorry. Let me play one more
I
time.
think he was down. When he hit that hole right
Yeah,
there.
it looks like at the end. I don't know. Yeah, I'll play from the beginning.
Just the way he hit that hole too.
Yeah, it's just like
Because if you pause it like right here, like this penetration backfield, like nothing really looks that open, but he's just patient with it. He finds it, opens up for
and then
him.
right there, just when he
Yeah.
like passes these two guys, they didn't even have a chance. Like
And then-
they have the angle on him, but his acceleration, he just gets right past them. They didn't have a chance.
Yep.
Yeah, at that second level, you could see how decisive he was. He knew what he was doing, which is really what you want in a running back, is having an understanding on where you're going instead of just playing the guessing game. A lot of running backs try to do that, especially when it comes to the second level.
Yeah.
And being decisive and understanding that his speed is going to get him past that big part.
Yeah, and so we just see here that the ball does come out. It's caused by the ground, so not actually a fumble.
No fumble. Good deal.
Another fake.
Hold that well.
Lawrence got some gas. Oh my god.
Dude, he's number one for sure. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's no doubt.
1st and 20. Oh, I like this play design.
It's a nice play.
I love that. How
He could have had so much
manipulated
more
that.
too. Oh,
Oh,
Oh, he breaks this?
I didn't expect that.
oh,
I thought he was going down.
wow.
Yeah, damn.
Okay,
Yeah,
there's a
so
lot to unpack on this one.
just so you guys know, we haven't seen any of this film, so these are our live reactions, genuine. Like we haven't seen this before. We kind of know the idea of Etienne, but we haven't seen any of his films. So this is just a great play design here. It's 1st and 20. They're running a makeshift draw where Lawrence
90
runs into
yards.
the side here. It looks like he's rolling out, but then you can see the O-line is actually starting to block to the left here, and they give it back to Etienne on the draw. And initially, there's already penetration, and so he's got to make the first man miss. He easily does that, and then this is my favorite part. He slows down here and lets this, I think this is left tackle here, make that block on that incoming DB. Boom, shoves him to the ground, and then just the
And
acceleration to
boom.
get past like 4 guys. Damn.
Yeah, that's a nice play.
He's next level at hitting holes, and like his acceleration it's almost alien like because
The way he sold that fake.
Yeah, he sold it too. That's a good point.
Like if you look at him and you just watch, like it's almost like he's expecting it.
His like head turns all the way to the right.
Correct.
Basically. Like right there. Like he's looking
like,
at the
"All right."
sideline. Damn.
And look what it does. Now, let's
yeah,
go
yeah,
back.
look at all those.
Go back a
Yeah,
minute. But then watch the linebacker. As soon as he does that, linebacker knows I got to drop back. I got to go cover him in the flats. Then he comes to a complete stop. This guy's lost. He has no idea where he's going to go. He sees that everybody's blocking to the left, and then gone.
Boom.
yeah,
That's what really
yeah.
made it. Is right. So you go down.
yeah. It's just like everything I've seen from him so far in this little amount we've watched. He's just amazing at block recognition and knowing where his linemen are going to block and waiting for them to get on block so he can get the maximum amount possible. And then obviously right here, right there, it's just, the acceleration is almost alien. Like 4 guys around him and he just accelerates right past them. So yeah, he for 90 yards, it's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like you
that's
said,
a good
like
play.
setting up his blocks. I went a bit too far back here, but he has like right here, like he has so much space to this bottom side of the field. He could be cutting it outside, but if he cuts it outside early, then they're gonna have a different angle on him and they're gonna
Correct.
chase him down. But he presses this inside for the longest amount of time to set up that block, and that's what really opens it up. That's just beautiful.
Dude, yeah,
Let's go back a little bit.
that lineman pancaked him though.
If you just watch right here, now keep going. Pause. Okay, if you just look at 33 and I guess 97, okay, there's probably like a good, maybe 6 yards between them, right? This guy's number 33 is completely blocked. 97, like the fact that Etienne thinks that he's able to go in between that crease without untouched after pushing the left tackle into another guy and is able to just accelerate with on demand. I mean, just amazing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Look, and then if you even look at it, like 97's right there. Like
This is
that's
a small
gap.
For sure. Gets by two of those guys. Like 97's a D lineman, but he also ran down. Who was it?
Yeah, he's an
17,
athlete.
Like yeah.
Yeah, he closed down pretty quick.
And then
That's just an amazing play.
His top end speed's top notch. You can tell he's a little gassed here at the end, but who wouldn't be on a 90-yard run? Crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Just gonna skip ahead.
By the way, he had 205 yards rushing in this game.
Let's see this different angle here. Yeah, that one.
That right there, that part right there was just amazing.
Dude, that was nasty. I think he would have beat him without. He would have beat that guy without the block. He would have broke his ankles.
Well, even the best part about that cut is he runs directly into that lineman. Like it wasn't even a clean cut. Look right here, boom, cut. Oh, little fumble. Still able to recover enough to be able to boost.
Yeah, his short area acceleration. That's one thing. Like I'm not a big top end speed guy, but if you have the short area acceleration from right here, from when he stops running to get there, that's what it's all about. Because anyone can like run down this. Like Etienne's not fast at the end there. You know what I mean? Anyone can do that in the NFL. But it's him getting to that open lane that's what really sets it up. All right. Jeez, Lawrence is such a good runner too.
Good sell.
Oh, almost threw a pick.
That was a nice almost pick.
That was an awful throw. Ooh.
Ouch.
Nothing.
I hope Lawrence doesn't go to the Jags after watching this.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just beautiful.
Yeah, another touchdown. Wow.
That's just beautiful. That's just beautiful play design, blocking. Like you and I, all three of us could have ran through that.
That's what I was about to say. It's wide open for him right here. There's a huge gap. No one's
Huge
even close
gap.
to him. Like
This guy right here at the bottom of your screen just had no idea where to be. The second safety.
this guy. Or
No
this guy?
back one. Yep.
Yeah.
I know.
He's going this far.
For some reason, he's covering the flats instead of just staying right where he's at.
He wants to get outside contain because he notices this guy's pulling, so he thinks this guy's going to come out here, and then he just cuts it inside. And there's no one else in this area of the field. This guy's way too far out to the left.
And he's too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's again like the short area acceleration.
They're closing, but and you see they get close to him, but he accelerates just right past him once again. Like that's his calling card. His acceleration is just. I know we're saying it a lot, but it's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like the biggest attribute from this play from him that I see is just the acceleration. Like if you look at it, any running back should be able to score on this play. You know, it's a design zone scheme to the right side of the line. I mean, it's a clear path. He does nothing special on this play, but because of that acceleration, he's able to get by.
Yep. He's just a freak athlete. There it is. Go ahead a little. Okay, just to run up the gut. I like that he's slow to it at the beginning here. He's reading the outside, but he sees, I think it's this linebacker here, 17, who he's pressing outside a little bit, not really, but he just takes it up the gut for the guaranteed yards.
He's looking for blocks.
Oh,
Awful throw.
just threw a pick.
Awful decision.
What happened on this throw? We're not watching for Lawrence. I just want to see one time. He was just super late.
Just didn't see him.
Yeah.
He cut it, yeah.
I don't know what he sees there. Georgia Tech still didn't score though.
Just another run up the gut.
Nice little 7-yard gain.
Just good blocking here, but he does run through some arm tackles.
Yep. Again, knows where the hole is. Follows his lead blocker, then bounces it inside.
He's running
Yeah, gets the
tough right
first
now.
down. Like you said earlier, James, that spin move just looks so natural.
Yeah, follows the blocker, keeps it inside, runs through one arm tackle and then two more, and keeps running his feet for that first down. It's beautiful.
Yeah, that was great.
I think that spin move got him the first down.
Let's see it. Right there,
You
yeah.
could see the outside guy. He was probably going to tackle him if he didn't spin move.
How do you? Yeah, I don't know. Like if you go back though, like if he cuts out, boom. If he cuts out, this guy, the corner's already there, but he's already engaged with the wide receiver. He sees it's a run, but there's a slim chance that he could bounce that out and just go.
Yeah.
Like we saw it earlier with a much smaller gap.
I don't know. I like it. I like him taking the decision up there because he has the linebacker out here.
Yeah.
I like him just taking this. Like, this is a pretty open, like, there's no one here. So I like him taking that. But I see what you mean. Pretty solid pass pro there.
Solid pass pro there, yeah.
Yeah, get the
He doesn't have to do a whole lot, but it's good.
Moved his feet. It's almost like Lawrence is allergic to using Etienne in the pass game. He never even looks to him.
There we
Nice
go.
little screen here. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like to always look for like if he can make the first man miss, and like most of the time Etienne can do it, but he's not gonna be able to do it every time here. He doesn't put on the best move right here. He just tries to stop and stiff arm.
Yeah.
He's just like too fast for the blockers. Also, like no one gets out in front of him to help him block. Like
I was gonna say if Lawrence would have been maybe a little bit more patient with the throw.
yeah, he had pressure though.
Yeah.
It's a screen. You kind of have to get it out quick.
Yep.
But yeah, he could have sold it for a split second later. All right. Not a whole lot there on pass pro. Not a bad throw.
How early is this in the season?
This is the first game.
It's the first game.
In 2018?
In 2019. So the
2019.
first game, they always show like last season's record
Okay.
at the bottom here. Because like normally, you know how they say like whatever the record is this year at the bottom? This is the first game they can't really say that. They're not going to be like 0-0. He doesn't do a whole lot here, but I like that if you notice, like he's looking around. His head's on a swivel. He's looking to find someone.
Yeah,
So, like
yeah.
blocking, like a lot of it's technique, but a lot of it's also just effort, and you can tell Etienne's putting in the effort. Alright, just simple right there, not much.
If he would have hit Etienne in the flat right there, he would have first down, but he decided to force a throw.
It's kind of like Deshaun. He wants the.
I was
he wants
just
the,
about to say. It reminds
he's got these weapons. He's
He's
got
just
T.
waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah. Maybe that's a Clemson thing then. I don't know. Because yeah, Etienne's open on all of these checkdowns. Like.
Yeah, and here he is, almost getting sacked and throwing it away. Or throwing a pick, actually.
It's end of the half. That's fine.
Oh, okay. And he fumbled.
They love these play designs. Oh my god, that's just nasty.
Yeah,
They love these play designs where Etienne Lawrence will roll out to the right here again, and then the run's going to the left. Takes that step to the right, and then boom, you see the pulling offensive lineman to the left. The misdirection just great, and then he makes that first guy miss in the hole, and that's what sets up the entire run.
That little cut with his feet, his body control and his feet right there, with the first guy he's missing.
Yep.
With the first guy he missed, like that sidestep in such a small area is literally insane. Because and he made it look so effortless. Like.
Oh yeah, it looks so easy then.
Yeah,
and runs through arm tackle. Damn.
And to make that move in such a tiny space and such like a subtle move, that's like ridiculously hard to do.
For sure. Yeah, that's one of his best runs I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice. Jesus, touchdown. This is beautiful. So follows the blockers. He's patient with it. He's real slow with it, letting them set up. And then boom, cuts it inside, and he's gone.
Oh, that was such a tiny hole.
So
he gets
nasty.
skinny between it.
Nice cut too.
And then he like barely goes inside to influence this guy. Right
just
there,
enough.
Goes inside and then outside. That's awesome.
Doesn't even hit him with the full acceleration either.
Oh yeah, he knows. Once he's past them, he knows like this is a touchdown. I don't even have to try.
Boom. Beautiful. That's just a beautiful cut.
Running back 1.
Oh, for sure. I don't know much about this next year's class. I usually do my work later, but he's definitely a top. He was running back 1 last year, so It's probably this
It's
year.
so hard. Like I've watched some of like Najee Harris and the other guys. It's so hard to put anyone over Etienne in my opinion.
I'm completely with you. He was better than who went first last year? Was it Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yeah, that was the first
Yeah.
one.
I love Helaire, but he was better than him. He's better than DeAndre Swift. Um,
J.K. Dobbins better than him for sure.
what is going on with my laptop? Okay. Better than J.K. Yeah, he was the best. I don't know why he didn't come out, but I guess like you said, he wants to go out on top. Okay, what's the next game you want to watch, Dylan?
Florida State.
Florida State 2019. Second game. Is this by like order? By like chronological?
Uh, no, I didn't. I did not do that on purpose. I did it kind of like we showed his best game first, and like this is kind of one of his average games.
Yeah. Okay, so just before we get into this game,
Yeah, they're 5-0. Yeah.
Let's recap the last game. He had those 2 big touchdown runs, but even on the ones that weren't big, like, you could see his vision, his patience, his setting up blocks, and then just the quick cuts like we all talked about.
Yep, and not only that, like you said, when he was in pass pro, while he's not the best in pass pro, he's still looking to engage. The effort's still there, so he's a willing blocker, which is really what all you're looking for in a pass protector and a running back is somebody that's willing to block, because the other stuff can be taught. Obviously, home run speed. His vision is probably just out of this world. The way he's able to see it, I'm really interested to think. When I think about it, how much of it is the scheme specific to Etnie's, or is it Etienne?
Etienne, yeah.
Etienne. I don't watch college football until January or February when I'm scouting. But yeah, he has the entire package, and you just watch him run. The patience is what I like. But like I said, the scheme, you have to wonder how much of the scheme plays a part, because almost like that offensive line last year in college football was probably one of the best offensive lines in college football. And you saw it in the draft this year. So, but I mean, a solid running back has that second level speed that you're looking for. He's tough. We didn't see a fumble. Even took some hits in thighs and lower half of his body. Never came out of the game.
Yeah, like you said, like a player's situation is a big thing, and like you said, they have a great O-line. They also have a great passing attack that defenses are going to worry about. So even if you look on this play, like this box is so light right here. Like it's really 4, and then you have this guy coming down on the blitz, like a 5-man box. Like, so it's like everyone's going to have a hat on a hat. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll take that into consideration. All right, let's get into the Florida State game.
Nice little pitch.
Oh,
that's a dot.
that's a laser.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, I was not expecting that.
I was like, wow, he doesn't have much room.
Okay, he got some speed on that thing.
Oh, mechanics too. Plants his foot.
He must have been a high school quarterback, because that was like a really good
I
throw.
mean, seriously, if you just watch his mechanics, like, look, he stops, plants, boom.
It's not like he's wide open either. That was like in contested
Yeah, he
catch.
just throw that out. That was like a ball placement too, to the inside.
Yeah.
That's where he's.
Who was that? Who was the wide receiver? Higgins?
Ross.
Yeah, I
Ross
think
is
that's
eight, right?
Tristan Ross. I don't think that's T. Higgins.
Higgins was number 1, I think.
Oh, he's another one. That's a good run.
Oh, he's still going. Damn. Okay, yeah. Let's see this.
Clear.
Initially there's a huge hole right here. I'll pause it right there. Huge gap to the outside here. Everything's just blocked up really nicely. Everyone has a hat on a hat. He hasn't gotten touched yet. But then when he does here, he still keeps on running his feet, and he picks up like an extra yard and falls forward. So
Yep. That's a nice run.
Yeah.
Very nice run.
Just weaving in 3.
Huge hole. Didn't even fake to go inside. He was like, I'm just going to take what they're giving me.
Yeah, just hit it.
I like the way where he knows when not to be patient. He knows when he has a big hole, and he just hits it. Like he can recognize it. Like he wasn't patient. All he goes, okay, I'm gonna hit it right here. I like when he knows when not to be patient.
True. All right, let's get into this next play. 2nd and 3. More of that misdirection, just weaving in and out. Goes inside and then goes outside a bit. You'd like to see him finish his run a bit better, but he does it more often than not, so. Okay,
Yeah, there's nothing there anyway. When you look at this play, everything's flat. Guys in the backfield. 3 guys in the backfield. I mean, there's nothing he can do at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back a little bit. There we go. Yeah, he couldn't have even bounced it back from where 74 is. I mean, unless he does it now, maybe he was trying to.
Yeah, that's
He was going to where he thought the hole potentially would be.
I mean, there
Either
is one
way.
right here. Like, there's the hole. You see it, and then like this guy's coming in, but you can get more yardage here. But yeah, like you said, he just penetrates in. There's not much you can do. It'll be interesting to see him as a goal line back because he is a bit smaller. And,
oh, that's a nice play.
Ooh.
nice play.
I think like he's pretty good at like running through tackles and breaking arm tackles, but on the goal line here, he's gonna be someone where you kind of have to scheme up like tricky stuff like this.
Yeah, I don't know if you want him to be your goal line back.
Yeah, just running up the A gap like Carlos Hyde.
Nice run.
Solid run. Again, good blocking, but
not a big hole, but makes the most of it.
Yep. Finally hits him in the flat.
Enough.
Yeah, I like how when he gets the pass here, he kind of stops and he stops right there. Okay, it's kind of hard.
He wanted to go outside.
Yeah, and he just cuts it upfield to get as much yards as possible really quickly. Kind of dead legs him at first, and then
he's 33. He's locked up a little bit enough for him to be able to have room to get the first.
Yeah,
that's the awareness you're looking for, right? Like you want them to know that like, when they see a blocker is engaged on the outside, looks like what T. Higgins.
I think that's Amari Rodgers, or yeah.
Yeah, Amari Rodgers. He's gonna be nice too. Huge gap, Jesus. But he outruns.
Yeah, that was a nice farm.
And then boom. Yeah, so just another huge hole here.
Another one. Oh, 14.
He has that short area acceleration to get past him and hit him with the.
Look at 14. Just bad angle on the block. Yep. Still able to make enough. You gotta love the effort on that play, right? Like 14 is so not engaged in the blocking. Still able to get enough. It makes two guys miss. Able to cut it upfield.
Yeah, that's just a great play.
Yep.
All right. Jesus. Okay,
that's a great play.
Yeah, you break down for us.
Patient. I mean, almost like that Le'Veon Bell stutter step kind of weight right here. Boom.
Yep.
Enough of a hole. Keeps going. Keeps the legs churning. He's getting as many yards as possible. He's grabbed from the moment he grabs the ball almost.
Boom. Right here, like you said, just real patient with it. Like, there's not much open here, but then because of his size, he's able to get kind of skinny in here. And then the size isn't a hindrance, though. He's able to still run his legs and barrel forward. It's actually like 5, 6, 7 yards.
7 yards, yeah.
Damn.
It almost looks like he kind of like glides when he runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, James. Like,
kind of reminds me of the way Arian ran.
His body control is something that's just like, it doesn't look normal, especially when he's making these small cuts that make guys miss all the time. Like, it doesn't look normal that a guy like, because he's a pretty big body. He's not like small by any means. A guy that big can have that much control over his body is pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So on this play here, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think he should have bounced this to the outside here? Like you see.
I think that hole right there.
I'm glad you came back to this because when we were talking, I saw this. So right here, I mean, you got the linebacker right there. 84 is not engaged in the block. He's not at the right angle to be able to really take him on. You know, maybe he slows him down a little bit if he bounces outside. You know, either way, he's going to pick up more yards. I don't know what's happening with 73. Looks like he's got 2 guys. Yep.
Yeah, he's got 2 guys.
So, you know, is that guy able to push off and wrap him up? I don't know. I mean, got back to the line of scrimmage. I think if he bounces, he at least gains positive yards. But also, that's a big cut at that point. You know, you got to think like there's not a lot of room to maneuver at that point.
Yeah.
Like right here, if he's going to have to cut quick and turn it upfield.
Yeah, but that guy's unblocked over there, right there. I don't know his number, but I feel like maybe even if he tried 42, he was unblocked. So I feel like even if he does bounce outside. It was a big hole, but I feel like he might have gotten wrapped up even if he did.
But then you have to wonder if he would have made a guy miss if he does bounce
True.
outside.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
true.
All right.
All over your team. It's like our running plays with Carlos Hyde.
Maybe he could have cut it inside here. He kind of just runs into the traffic here, but there's not much there.
I mean, he couldn't have cut it anywhere else, anyways. Look, takes on that's the main block that was needed. Touchdown happens because of him.
Yep,
Yeah, that was a nasty block.
Or else this guy just runs straight at Lawrence and ends the season.
Boom. What is this? Linebacker safety here comes in.
Right.
He gets low, gets square with him. That's just beautiful. That's perfect. So he's got the pass pro down. He's got the effort and the technique.
Good throw.
That was like ideal pass block, pass
Mhm.
protection right there from a running back.
Oh, they even
Pick up
highlighted
the
it.
right guy too, because he
Takes
starts
him up.
off to the
Boom.
left.
Just takes him out because if not, Lawrence is getting hit hard.
And he took him on. Like,
Yeah,
he pushed him back. That guy didn't push him back at all.
Yeah, so he's reading left to right here because his initial responsibility is to see, because you see that this guy's coming in on a blitz too, so he's got to see if that gets picked up or not. He steps up to it, doesn't. That's where the unblocked guy is. Boom. Perfect.
That was really good.
He could have done better here, but that's a lot to ask to get out that far wide on a blitz. And he kind of gets hung up on the traffic there, so. It's a solid run here. Just there's not much here. You can't keep on bouncing this outside because of how the safety has it. So he does a good job of just kind of lowering his head and getting as much yardage as he can. Just hopping
Yeah.
on 1 foot there. Kind of hard to see,
Not much,
but
yeah, not much he can do here. It's like safety set the edge, and he did all he could to put his head down and gain yardage, which is something to be said for that for sure.
well, I mean, the effort after contact is a big piece of a running back, right? Like if you're able to still keep turning your legs and get what you can, right? Because in any gain is a positive gain. So you're putting your team in a better spot. Just his ability to just kind of keep going and keep fighting like that. That's what you look for in a characteristic of like a running back. You know, especially a smaller guy that's not going to be known as power, right? Just his ability to just keep going. Because you just never know. You're not quitting on the play. If he's able to get free, maybe he cuts it loose. Obviously, there's a bunch of guys, so that's not possible in this play. But that's the mindset you want your running back to have.
yep, definitely.
Not bad angle on that block.
Yeah, and he pushed him out. He did enough, but not the best. Another draw here. Tons of space, just wide.
So much.
Ooh, that's
Oh, that's spin at the end.
Yeah, so the draw really gets him
So
here.
much
2nd and 10.
more.
Like, there's no one, like the nearest guy is past the ref here. Like he kills both their pursuit angles and spins away from the safety. I don't know where this last two came from. 44 chased him down.
Not only that, like still has like the understanding that I don't know if there's somebody behind me or not. I need to hold on to this ball.
True. Yeah, you saw a bunch of times. Like I think Carlos Hyde, he got ran down one time. He had a big run, and he was like on the 1 yard line. And he got ran down and he fumbled. And I remember we lost that. I don't know what game it was against, but
That was a really nice spin move.
let's see another angle here. Boom.
That's just a nice play.
Another thing I just saw in the chat, apparently Etienne played with Deshaun his freshman year and Deshaun's last year.
So Etienne is a 4-year guy.
Yeah,
No, yeah, Etienne played with Deshaun his freshman year.
he will be a senior though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does he have face mask there?
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah, so like the run's initially inside and boom, he cuts it out, and then yeah, right
Yeah,
there.
right
I
there.
think if he makes one more cut, he can get in the end zone. But
Yeah, I think he's trying to press it inside enough so that he can make
or
the
maybe he
inside
got
cut.
face mask before he could
And
make the
then-
cut.
Yeah, right there, boom. You can see his head jolt back and just slows all his momentum. That's really nice. Just more of what we've been seeing, just following his block. He like you can even see he puts his hand on the blocker's waist here, just
Yep.
trying to push him in the right direction, and he's being patient here, reading it, takes the inside, boom, nice run.
Yeah, super patient run, and as soon as 59 got on his block, he cut it. He cut it upfield, which is great block recognition once again. So
I love his ball security, right? Like if you just watch him run, even on like an open field, like he doesn't transition, doesn't switch hands, just keeps it in the rock position, just holds it, never even thinks about doing anything else with it to ensure that like nothing happens to the ball.
Yeah,
if 59 had a better block, he probably could have broke that run. But 59 like whiffed completely.
Yeah, that was
not a
a
whole lot here.
Yeah, nothing you can do there.
It's just a big pile up. And at this point,
if he
can't cut this
cuts,
outside
if he cuts, he hits super hard.
Yeah, so he just
Those
gets
guys
enough
have
if he
free
can.
run. Yeah,
Stretches forward, maybe a yard. Yeah, I think a yard. So
not for the first.
This is that tough short yardage running that you don't expect it from a smaller guy like him, but he can still do it. He runs right through this tackle right here. Yeah. Wait, does he run into his own guy or does he get?
No, he runs into a guy that has a bad angle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 35.
One more time. Damn, you're really seeing break tackles here, and then like you said, he switches his ball hand right here at the end of the run.
That was a really nice run.
Boom.
Small.
So yeah, right here. He's patient to it. He gets through this skinny gap here, and then you can see he has his hand right on his shoulder pad, and it kind of slows him down, but he just runs right through it. And then boom, takes on another hit square on, spins off of that, and then boom, he's gone.
Notices that the guy's on his right side switches the ball into his other hand.
Yeah, that was a really solid run.
He's gassed right here, so you can see it.
That's something, you notice it too, like on those big long runs, like he looks gassed at the end, and even on this one, so I wonder what that's about. Because this isn't that crazy of a long run, like it's probably, what, 30?
No, but it's
like still long,
but it took a toll on his body. I mean, he got wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, hit twice.
True.
Like, then he sees that there's a safety running behind him, switches the ball into his other hand, knows that he's about to get hit, doesn't have enough to just be able to kind of spin out of it, so he just takes what he can get. I mean, his body just took a beating.
Yeah, he ran through like 4 tackles there. All right.
Wow.
The last game you said is probably not his best game, you said, Dylan?
Yeah, that one was probably like he still had 127 yards.
No, I mean, sorry, the next one.
The next one? Yeah. South Carolina. If you guys.
Perfect. What was it? Do you have a stat line for this game?
Yeah, I do. It's on that line. I thought I had pulled up, which you said I didn't. For South Carolina, I believe he only had 51 yards.
John's not going to want to watch this.
All right, how are we doing on time? Been here for, 50 minutes? We're doing pretty good.
He still had 2 touchdowns, but just 15 carries, 51 yards in South Carolina.
South Carolina had a good defense.
Flea flicker.
Oh, he can stand.
I mean, wow.
Just so much space here. He can't make the first man miss. That's just a really good tackle and angle by the safety.
Still able to get the first.
Yeah. He still runs forward through tackle. Because he gets tackled right here. Like some running backs, he would have had 9 yards, but he gets the 10th yard there, falls forward.
Well, I think the cool thing about that is when you watch him, he knows, like, he's aware of which leg's getting hit, plants his left foot, and enough to, like, push forward to the first down. Boom.
Yeah.
And this is a big, like, a rivalry game.
Oh, I like that cut. So right here, there's nothing much inside, but he sees there's no one out here. So like a lot of the other times where you're questioning, oh, should he cut it outside? There's usually a guy standing right here having outside contained. But you see this linebacker, he's stuck in the middle of this because that's where the run's going, and he can't get outside there quick enough. So Etienne makes a great decision to cut it outside. And then 15 gets off his block, but that's just great.
Yeah, that is a nice run, especially recognizing no one's sitting the edge.
Yep.
Especially since he really had nothing if he kept running between the tackles.
So I guess these were his stats last year, which is just crazy. 8.7 yards per carry, leading the FBS. That's insane for a running back.
Yeah, for sure.
Where's those
He
stats this
he
year? I don't
he
know.
looks gas.
Number 11 games
After that
into it.
one,
Right. How much here? Wait, I just want to see the route again. I forgot to look at his route. Not the greatest.
Wow.
Linebackers sticks with them, but
Great awareness by Lawrence. Maybe let's see. Nothing's available. Everybody's covered. Boom.
yeah, they're in man coverage. And
so yeah, this is like we were talking about. Like on the goal line, he's not gonna really be running through like all these guys. Like there's 4 South Carolina defenders here. You can't really expect any running back to do that. And he still gets positive yards here, so that's good.
Yeah,
Did he stumble here trying to cut to the left?
he did.
Yeah.
he got stumbled a little bit.
Again, there's not much there, so
So,
South Carolina had a great defensive line. Javon Kinlaw anchor in the middle.
yeah.
That's
Runs
stopped 3
into-
times.
Runs into some traffic here. There's just no hole ever. His guys are getting pushed back. He runs into his own guy. There's not much. He tries to keep fighting and moving his legs forward, but
There's not much you can do.
yeah. Oh no, Wildcat.
Snap. Nothing.
Dang.
Tries to
4
take it outside
times.
a little bit and then cut in. Boom. But
That South Carolina defensive line, though, was nasty.
yep, that's them dogs.
They gave it to him 4 times, and at least
I
they
love that.
trusted him.
I was always the guy to say run it 4 times. If you're on the 1, you're gonna get it 1 time, but I guess not right here.
I mean, just look at the trenches, dude. Runs into
Maybe-
the guy. He actually had, if you go right here,
Yeah,
Yeah,
you fit
yeah, that
right
hole.
there.
cuts right there. Boom.
Yeah.
That's hard though. He's making so many cuts, and that's just such
Yeah.
a split-second decision.
But you got to.
Yep. All right. Makes the first guy miss, and then yeah, like you said in the beginning of the video, just being able to get back to the line of scrimmage here, because there's a lot of penetration. He cuts the run outside even more right here, and then he's somehow able to make it back.
I mean, it's like when you think about the running back position, like these plays are going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But what he's doing is he's just doing enough to make sure that his offense does not have negative yardage. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Because yeah, like you said, they're not going to have perfect blocking every time. So remember that weird draw play. Follows blocks well.
Follows the blocks.
Not a whole lot. South Carolina's defense is just swarming to the ball. Like they got speed at linebacker too.
Well, isn't this is their rivalry game? Isn't it?
Yeah, last game of the season.
So nice, just run up the gut again. Good job weaving. He takes that one cut to the outside and then boom, goes back inside. Runs his feet, push the pile. Might get a first here. No, 3rd and 1. See what he does. Just a quick little handoff. Gets the first
Yeah,
down.
that's
Just
the
tough
first down.
yardage. Play action fake. No one to block, so he cuts out. There's a bomb. Jesus.
Jeez.
He's one of the best deep ball throwers, Trevor Lawrence. He's crazy. Pretty solid block here. He throws his shoulder into him and gets him on the ground, so that's nice.
He doesn't have to do much there since Lawrence is running to the
Yeah.
other side.
You just gotta make a little bit of contact. Good stop right here. This is again like we see him a lot be able to like make it through these small gaps, but there's really nothing here. Like this is like shoulder to shoulder. Like it's hard for him to get by there.
For sure.
Action fake, no one to block.
Jeez,
Justin
that's
Ross.
nice.
Look at him pluck the ball out of there. We're not watching him, but that's just fun. Nothing much there.
I bid on the fake.
He looks a little soft here on the block. He doesn't.
That
He
angle.
kind of just like.
I think Lawrence got to get rid of it though.
I mean, who's open here? Let's see. Yeah, he could have hit 14 right now, but he's waiting for the deeper pass. Yeah,
And at 14, pretty well covered too.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really there.
Yeah, something.
Pretty decent job blocking there.
That was a
Beautiful
nice
ball by
throw.
Lawrence.
Wow.
Not get his feet in bounds. Steps up in the pocket. No. I didn't skip the play. They just skipped it out. I don't know why. Where's Etienne here?
Not on the
Oh,
field.
he's at the very bottom. Okay. Just quick slant to Justin Ross. Beautiful. Finally found him on an underneath.
There we go. Up for the first down.
Steps up. Boom.
Not
Makes
the
that
Christmas route, but what do you expect?
His
hard
break
play
out of
right
that was
there.
pretty nice.
He could have cut it. Yeah. He could have
He would have
stepped
cut on
right
it.
here. If he cut it horizontal like this, parallel to this line basically,
Correct.
Yeah,
it would have been perfect. But he kind of made it a little bit diagonal, and we're kind of nitpicking here, but he could have done better for sure.
he did make it a
would've gone
little
away from
easier for the
10.
linebacker cover.
Yep, for sure. But that's just a fast linebacker too. Bringing him down. What is this play? No, he just falls down. Okay. I missed this play. I was looking at it. Okay, he just runs through. Nothing really going on.
Ooh.
They used their fullback in the passing game in a decent amount. Wonder if we'll do that with Gillespie.
We did a couple times last year in the past one.
Was that a team?
Yeah.
That acceleration. Once again.
That's the biggest thing to take away, especially with something like a toss, right? Like you're not waiting for things; you just got to hit it and go.
It looks like he's fast forwarded.
Yeah, he does.
That's how fast he looks on that
He's
play.
just at a different level than everyone else. He's good blocking here. He doesn't get
Jeez.
touched till the end, but like you said,
That's just a beautiful run.
the speed to make it through. Damn.
And the thing is, he starts the acceleration before he even gets the ball.
Let's see.
Like he knows as soon as it's coming. Like he can watch him. Now, boom.
Yep. So as soon as he catches,
no-
it's smooth.
No chance to any guy to catch him whatsoever. That was insane.
Yep, he's beast for sure. One more view. This should be a good play for us to run this kind of speed option. Sean can just kind of chuck it to David Johnson and Duke Johnson out. In the
For sure, yeah,
space.
especially Duke.
Yeah.
Lawrence did a great job of waiting till the last minute to pitch it.
He sold it for sure. The play action, not much by Etienne to do there. Let's see, can he get it? Can he redeem himself on the goal line? There you go.
Got it.
Bounce it outside. That's where he's at his best. He can do it in between the tackles, but he's got the speed to always win on the edge there.
Yeah, no chance for those guys, especially with Etienne's lateral quickness.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
if you-
blocking. Like
You saw that little delay because
Right.
so that linebacker had to stay inside. Just a little delay right here, so linebacker had to stay inside, then
Yep.
he recognizes it and he walk into touchdown.
Easy, yeah. So if you're going to run them on the end zone, that's how you're probably going to want to do it with these kind of pulling plays and get them to the edge. Here, you just got a wide open edge. You just got to, boom, just hit it. Yeah, like you said, Dylan, he knows when to be patient and set up his blocks, and he knows when to just hit this edge and just take it. Because there's no one on the edge there. Doesn't go down on first contact. You love that. Out in the flat. So this is a screen. What is going on? You see 73 and 59. They're running out here to set up the screen, and Trevor Lawrence just looks it away. You have screens on both sides here for 18 as well?
Yep.
That's a really interesting play. And I don't know why he threw it away. He had so much space here, but
he had enough to maybe get a yard or two.
yeah, you have a blocker out here. There's only one defender really close. I don't know what Lawrence is doing, but
I've noticed Lawrence's decision making is spotty, but
interesting.
he's
this
still
is his second year, or was this his freshman?
That was the second year.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. And he only started half the year his freshman year, I believe.
Oh, nice little shovel pass.
Nice
on the
play.
screen. That acceleration, man, like we've been raving about. To go from stopping and turning around to turning on the Jets.
He was
that
stumbling.
quickly.
He
Yep.
was like,
Yeah, right there.
And then
Sorry. Stumbling. And then boom. Taking off.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we're already in the fourth quarter here, and we haven't seen like a lot of runs from him. We've seen like he's been more involved in the passing game today. So I guess that's what kind of speaks to his lower yardage game here today.
yeah,
And then I guess only like the main runs we saw were like right on the goal line, and like obviously he's not going to pick up a lot of yards there.
There's nothing he could have done there.
Yeah.
he made a nice cut. He saw the hole, and guy just whips on the block.
Yeah, there's just nothing you can do at that point.
76.
Yeah, they got me on the fake there.
Yep, me too.
They didn't get me.
Good job keeping the option.
That was nice from Lawrence.
Yeah, so like the defense they learned from last time, we saw in last time Etienne's big run. When this guy crashed down, then Lawrence can just pass it off. So he had to play it safe here, play the running back, and boom. Then
Etienne gets
poison.
Etienne gets blown up if he pitches it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Defender's right there, or the defender could even like pick it off and take it.
Correct. That's what I was thinking. Oh,
Well, that was a really nice.
that was a nice goal line play.
He stumbles here.
I don't know if he
He's patient,
stumbled.
though, and
I don't think he stumbled. I think
No,
I think that's what he.
he just
Yeah. Whew.
That's a nice play.
Yeah,
just weaving in and out of traffic.
just
here.
look at the hesitation he causes in all the defenders on the line. They all think,
Everybody's head's looking right at him.
And boom. Because like yeah, like right here, there's nowhere really to go up the gut, and then he waits and he sees that lane open up for a split second and just hits it really quickly.
and that little double move he put on just caused hesitation in all the defenders, and that little hesitation was enough to get to the edge and make a couple guys miss.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great
That
play.
was a
Right
nice
there.
play.
Another touchdown. So you got 2 touchdowns on the day. You're gonna give us an end zone view here? Nope, that's it. All right. Well, do you want to? How much time we got? I guess we reserve the rest of the time for just kind of talking them,
Yeah.
summarizing what we got.
So, I mean, I think there's a lot to unpack. But the biggest thing that I took from it was his vision is next level. He has an understanding of where to go, what his holes are, what his responsibilities are in the scheme, and then he's able to accelerate when he needs to. Those toss plays, things of that nature. His ability to cut was just like it was at any given time he could just stop and cut and go. I was impressed, and like I said, I don't watch college football until February or March when I'm getting ready for the draft, and that guy's a player. I'm surprised that he didn't want to come out last year and be the first running back taken. He probably would have gone pretty not early, but in the first round at least.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think everything we saw from today, he summed it up pretty great. His vision, manipulating blocks. He's an elite athlete too. His short area acceleration, it was just great. He really didn't have many. I don't think he had a single negative play. Even the times where there was penetration, he's able to make it back to the line of scrimmage. So that's just a great quality.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and he ran tough. Like we saw him break arm tackles. Like, he's a complete back, and we saw it in the passing game, the blocking, running routes too. He could clean up the routes a little bit, but they didn't use him a lot in the passing game the previous year, and this was the kind of the year where they went to him a bit more to try and showcase him. So he's getting better at that, and yeah, I loved what I saw, honestly. What was you doing?
Yeah. Like, I know we've raved about this the whole time, but his acceleration, just make a bit like his body control and ability to make guys miss is really something special. And yeah, just like kind of following what James said, I really liked. He seems to have very good football IQ, where he recognizes blocking schemes and where the guys are going to block and when to make his cuts, and that's just something definitely really special about him. And just like I said earlier, he knows when to be patient. He knows when to just hit a hole, and obviously when he hits holes, his acceleration's next level. So if there's a big hole, he's going to hit it, and he's going to usually get a first down if there's a big hole for him.
So when you're looking at like a college running back, and I think just to touch on like what you mentioned as far as schemes and understanding like the offense, like that's what you're looking for when you bring in a rookie running back is his understanding of the offense and his ability to learn it and understand what the scheme is and where the holes are going to be. Because, that's a big part of football is understanding the playbook, understanding the calls, understanding the scheme to be able to execute it at a high level. And he showed that he has an understanding of that. Like most of those designs, those scheme runs were specific to him, and he knew exactly where he needed to be. And a lot of that has to do with probably Dabo preparing him and understanding how to teach that. But at the next level, being able to take that with him and learn a new offense and the scheme, it's going to pay dividends once he's in the NFL. So on top of that, just his ability to continue to go after first contact. Multiple times we saw hands on his pads. He's able to keep it going. He kept his legs churning. This guy's he's a solid.
Yeah. So I guess going off that one, we talked about what we liked about him. Is there anything that you guys saw concerns from his game? I can't really think of any on the top of my head. He's a complete back. Like, yeah, James, you're shaking your head. Dylan, you got anything?
Nothing really like that really concerned me. It's just like a weakness of his goal line. His goal line contributions, obviously, like he's never going to be a guy you can put in at the goal line and you can run him between the tackles and he's going to find a way to get in the end zone. Obviously, that's not his game. That's just one of his weaknesses. And I would like to see a little more in 2020 season of him catching the ball. I think he has a lot of potential, especially with his open field ability and ability to make guys miss. I would like to see him get. I would like to see them get him involved in the passing game a little more for sure.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if it has to do with kind of what Jordan talked about with his route running ability. They're not the crispest routes. When you watch that out, he should have cut it a little bit sooner. It was more rounded than it should have been. But those are all things that you learn, and you don't come out of college a great route runner as a running back. Those are things that you learn. It's just more about the ability to be able to what you can do with the ball in your hand when you do catch the ball and make guys miss and extend the play. So I would agree though. But yeah, then on the goal line, he's just not a goal line back. And in the NFL, he won't be a goal line back. College is a little bit different, but when you're lining up against Aaron Donald, all those guys, it's going to be very hard for a guy his size to be able to do it unless the offense is creative. If he went to like a Kyle Shanahan offense, then maybe. But like in our offense, if we're looking at him as potentially a guy that the Texans look at next year, he won't be our goal line back.
Yeah, that's nothing I'm going to knock him for.
It's not who he is.
It's just not who he is, and in this day and age, most NFL teams are going to have someone they view as a first down back to get hard yards or a goal line back to get hard yards. Etienne's not going to be that, but I feel like everything else outweighs all of his quote unquote weaknesses. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, I think some people, if they see that he's not he's not a goal line back, they might be concerned with like his power, but that's not what we're saying at all. He's a very powerful back. It's with him, it's his build up speed, and when he can build up his speed, then boom, you'll see him run through these arm tackles. You'll see him truck guys, but when you're on the goal line, obviously you can't really build up your speed there. You got to take a quick cut, and it's just like what we've been saying. It's just he's a different type of back, but he's definitely got his strengths here. So I like what James talked about, kind of his fit with the Texans. We don't know exactly what's going to be going on with David Johnson. We have him on the team. We love him, but how many years does he have on his contract? 1 or 2? This is his last year, so we don't know if he has a great season.
Maybe we restructure, maybe.
Yep. But it's always great to have youth at the running back position. That's a position where it's just how it is. Like as you get older, your legs they kind of start to fail you. But so getting some youth and some juice out of Etienne or some other guys that we're going to be looking at would be a great addition.
Well, you also got to look at just the fact that we don't have a first or second this year. So unless he has a down year, gets hurt, there's the likelihood of him being available to us in the third round pretty slim. But who knows? Maybe we fetch second round somehow, or we package up something to get back into the second round. But
yeah, I know this isn't the topic, but I think we have enough capital to get into the second round. So if we want someone in the second round, I feel like Traderville is going to make it happen.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
Yeah, and just talking about the whole he's probably not going to fall to us thing. Just when we're starting up this series, we want to talk about kind of these big name guys just to get everyone excited about it. We know that it's Travis Etienne or whoever it may be next week, whoever we look at, they might not be there in the third round, but it's so hard. It's so early in the draft process. It's really hard to project these guys in the third and even fourth round. So we'll definitely get to that later in the season once we get closer to draft week. every week we get closer, we're going to get more and more Texans focused and going off of the rumors that we hear, the positions of needs, and even that, like, positions of needs, they change a lot from now and then throughout the season and throughout the
Correct.
draft, the off season. So it'd be way too early to be able to project accurately which guys we want to look at.
We won't know until about week 8, week 9 where our position needs are.
Yep.
And so until that time, it's going to be just looking at prospects, kind of sharpening up our tools as far as scouting and understanding what we're looking for. And then as the season progresses, we'll have an understanding of what our needs are. Then we'll start to look at, other draft boards and where people have them to understand kind of where we're going to go and what we're going to be looking at. But the goal is for it to be Texans specific. And luckily for us, with the season ends in January, so we have January, February, March, April to really dive deep into the potential of who could be available for the Texans in the 3rd and 4th round and things of that nature. But right now, it's just talking about the guys we like.
Our season's going to end in February, actually, James. I want to correct you.
Okay. I would agree. I would. No, but I thought this was fun. I think this was a good idea. I think it's going to be very interesting to just kind of do this every week. Like I said, all it's doing is just kind of giving different perspective as to what we see and what we look for as far as scouts and what we want to see from players, especially when we're looking at different positions. Like for me, I'm cornerback. I'm good. That's my specialty. Jordan's specialty is defensive line and pass rush. Dylan is, kind of all over the place, given that he breaks down just prospects in general. So, it's going to be very interesting to see kind of how we all learn from each other. And that's the biggest part that I'm looking for, is just kind of understanding what you guys see so I can get better at doing that for other positions. And hopefully the audience feels that they're able to add to that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no one's perfect with scouting. Like, I haven't been doing it for that long, honestly. Like, it's only been a couple years for me. So every year, we're going to get better, and talking to each other, we're going to get better. And we're some of the brightest minds, I think, in this Texans world of draft. So it'll be great.
I agree 100%. All right, Dylan, what else you got before we get out of here?
I haven't watched many of the running backs, but this is also something I mentioned earlier. Etienne's running back 1 for me right now. I saw this dude on Twitter, on draft Twitter, whatever. He was trying to be edgy, and he put some Memphis running back number 1 over Etienne, and that it was just it was impossible to see how you can put. I haven't dug deep into that Memphis running back. I think it was Gainwell or something, but I just think after we watched that film, it's hard to put anyone over Etienne at running back 1.
Yeah, I think what we saw today is just kind of shows you exactly like how that's going to go to the next level and what he's going to be able to bring. And you see like teams value speed, and he has that burst. So no, I agree. All right, so next week, are we doing defense? Do we have an idea, or is it just up in the air right now?
Pretty up in the air right now, I think.
Fantastic. Just trying to get a hedge on you guys.
Yeah, don't know what we're talking about.
Wait, what'd you say, James? Sorry.
Just trying to get a hedge on you guys.
I don't know. Don't know if we're talking about Najee Harris, another running back.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much up in the air. We can make it a lot about who the fans want, or
Yeah.
I don't know, or maybe each week we rotate, and because I kind of brought up Etienne this week, so maybe one of you guys can bring it up for the next one. I don't know.
I definitely know. This is kind of like a specialized series that a lot of people might not be interested in, considering the draft's so far away. So definitely, we want to do the players the fans want, so we get the max amount of people watching it. So we can like put up a poll on Twitter or something if we need to.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Probably on like Monday, we'll post a poll, and then that'll decide who we're gonna do.
Just to get an idea of the content, we're going to be streaming this live every Thursday at the same time, 1 p.m. Central. And then right after this is done, we'll have the full YouTube video up. And then maybe we're aiming for tomorrow to have this like kind of last segment of here where there'll be a podcast, and we're going to have you guys just asking and answering questions. So that'll be the last little bit. Hopefully that'll be up Friday, maybe sometime over the weekend or Monday. But then on Monday, we're planning to turn this kind of into a big article, where just kind of like with the Isaiah Coulter and Jonathan Grenard articles, where we break down film and show the plays and show what we're talking about. So we're going to try and have that done for Monday.
Yep, no, I agree. All right. From the Texans Unfiltered team, at least 6 of them. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that click like and subscribe button. Follow us on Twitter. You can follow me at @IamYoungAriGold. You can follow Jordan at Texans_thoughts. And you can follow Dylan at Texans_draft. Make sure you guys go to the website, TexansUnfiltered.com. Jordan just put up his Jonathan Grenard film analysis review. and Dylan is working on a piece as well that should be out soon. So make sure you guys go follow us on all our social media channels, and make sure you guys tell a friend about us. And with that, we'll catch you guys next week.
Oh, I forgot I have to end it.